To the Connoisseur reviews. I know I've been gone for a while. I'll do an update video later, but let's talk about David Fincher's latest film after 6 years, Mank. It's about the creation of Citizen Kane, one of Hollywood's most classic film. It's about the writer and how he kind of came up with the story and what kind of inspired him, and a little bit of background into his life. Gary Oldman stars in it, Amanda Seyfried, Lily Collins, and a bunch of other people. And I gotta say, this movie looks gorgeous. Like, David Fincher did an incredible job of recreating 1930s, 40s Hollywood aesthetic and this type of filmmaking, from like just like visual cues of burn on the film or to production design and how it looks like a painted background. And even the way that film is edited with like those sweeping shot cuts and everything. So on a technical standpoint, I think this movie looks gorgeous. The production design is beautiful. The black and white color, the cinematography is immaculate, and I think he really put his all in the technical side. This movie took him a while to make because he just couldn't get the funding for it, and unfortunately, in the narrative realm, I don't think this film hits where it needs to hit. I mean, yes, I was absorbed into the visual of the film, and I was in awe. My jaw was like just dropped, and I felt like I was watching a 1930s, 40s film. And even my fiance, wife, actually now, she was like, "Is this a 1930s film?" I was like, "No, it's a brand new movie. It just came out like a few days ago." And she's like, "Wow, this looks great," especially since we were watching a lot of like older Hollywood Christmas movies. So this movie does look great. But again, going into the narrative, I think the story structure doesn't hit. David Fincher is trying to do a lot, give us a little background story into Mank's life, and kind of connect it with Citizen Kane, and it's a good way he does that. But I feel like he's missing the human element, and there's a little bit too much going on to where it's not focusing on one aspect of his life. He's just like, hey, like there's this political issue going on at the time. There's Mank dealing with his drug life, his marriage life, and then a whole other slew of, unionization of actors and writers and all that stuff. So there's a lot going on, and I like the aspect of the unionization and like that type of stuff. I mean, when the movie hits, it hits pretty well. Like, you are invested, but there's just a lot of moments where I was just not invested in the characters. I couldn't care for their story, and I feel like that's where it's going to come off a little weird for a lot of people. And not only that, the movie is really tongue in cheek and self contained with film history. So if you're not aware of that era of film, you're going to feel a little bit lost. I mean, I'm pretty invested and educated in that type, but at the same time, I was like, there's a lot of inside jokes and things going on here that I'm not fully grasping, just because I don't know that much into the history as maybe somebody who studies and lives their life around that. So overall, I think from a production standpoint, Mank is an incredible film, but it does really lose itself in the story aspect. I mean, there is a good story there. It's just it's missing that human element. Gary Oldman's performance is good. I just don't think it doesn't stand out. It's just a solid performance. And Amanda Seyfried is surprisingly really good in it. I mean, she's always good, but she's really good in it. And Lily Collins has a really good, subtle performance. But aside from like the direction aspect, it doesn't hold up, and it was a little bit of a disappointment for me. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Solid movie. Just missing that human element. It's a gorgeous film to watch, so I recommend that part, but you're not gonna leave with anything after you've finished it. Alright, guys, check out my other reviews. If you like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my various social media sites. Alright, guys, Gucci.